making this video because I read the TWAB and there's an interesting little tidbit. More or less, they're increasing the price of each season from 10 to 12 bucks, and on paper, that's not a big deal. $2 increase, whatever. The issue is, Destiny, like many other games, has its own premium currency, so not everything's a 1-to-1 ratio. For instance, it's called silver, and in this case, usually like $100 is a 100 silver, right? That's why if you buy the $1,000 silver pack or whatever, that's basically a season 10 bucks, 1,000 silver. But the issue with having premium currency is that it's not a 1-to-1. For instance, let's look at this sparrow right here, right? If I want to buy the sparrow, map tells us that this is $6, right, worth of silver. However, if I go to click on this, I need to buy a bundle. I need to buy the $1,000 silver, because there's silver bundles and they come in multiple of 5, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, or 25, 30. So when you have things that are oddly priced like this that don't fall in the multiple of 5s, you end up buying more silver than you need. And on top of that, they do add a bonus, like you get a 100 silver bonus for the 1,000. I think you get like 200 for 1,500. The point is, it gives you like odd numbers. So again, it kind of encourages you to spend more than what you need, right? So that's the issue with the increase, the price. The fact that it is 1,200 is that if you want to buy a season now, it's not $12 actually, it's $15 because you have to buy the $1,500 bundle. Now again, Bungie can change this and add a $1,200 silver thing, but I think that's intentional. The reason why they made it 1,200 is that you're literally gonna have to buy the $1,500 one. Also, a bit of a tinfoil conspiracy theory. Again, it's 1,200 for the new seasons. If you buy 1,000 silver, 10 bucks, your bonus is 100. So you're 100 silver short if you buy the $10 one. So again, super encouraged to buy the $1,500, or I see $1,500, but 1,500 silver. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. And but if we just do some quick math, right? For transparency, I don't have Lightfall Deluxe, right? If we go over here, don't have the Deluxe. So if we go over the cost of everything, right? Lightfall is $50. Now, normally Destiny expansions are $40 and each season is 10 bucks, right? So expansion plus 4 seasons, $80, right, for a year of Destiny content. Now, in Lightfall is $50. And if you're wondering where the extra 10 comes from, it's that they included the current season Divines, in that cost in the actual like total price. And again, now it's 50, right? And there's 3 more seasons left, so 50 plus 30 is 80. So again, it does equal the same, right, compared to previous years. But here's the difference. They last year they monetized the game even more. Again, I'm assuming most people know about Destiny, but just to be super clear, there's things called dungeons. We have like I think 5 or 6 of them. I don't remember the number. But every dungeon, up until a certain point, came with the expansion at no extra cost. For instance, if you bought Forsaken, the Shadow Throne was part of Forsaken. There's no special DLC, whatever. If you bought Shadowkeep, Pit of Heresy came with Shadowkeep. Now, where things got a little different is that there is the 3rd dungeon called Prophecy, which is free to all players, came out during Season of Rivals. So that was the first time they released the dungeon for free. But then, when we go to the 30th anniversary, which came out before Witch Queen, you have Grasp of Avarice. And the 30th anniversary DLC was like 30 bucks, and the main selling point, in my opinion, and I don't think this is really hard to contest or you disagree with, was Gjallarhorn. If you don't know, this dungeon, the reward for doing the dungeon is Gjallarhorn, and then you do a little quest or you do like to get the catalyst, right? Gjallarhorn, even now after its nerf, is one of the best weapons in the game. So when you're wondering where the $30 come from, $30 gives you access to Grasp and to some other cosmetics and the Xur's Treasure Hoard. But in terms of Dares of Eternity, that's free to all players. So essentially, again in my opinion, the 30 bucks, a majority of that is for Grasp of Avarice. So that was like the first like bad sign of them monetizing dungeons. The real like final nail for most, or at least in my opinion, was when Witch Queen came out. Same deal, annual pass, whatever, season pass. But they added a new thing called dungeon keys. If you don't know, dungeon keys are now the only way you're able to access a dungeon. So even if the dungeon comes out during a season, you cannot access it unless you pay $20. These are about 2,000 silver, I believe. So again, Duality came out during Season of the Haunted, and Duality, it doesn't contribute to the story, but it is very relevant to the story of Season of the Haunted, and it gives you a little more insight around Season of the Haunted. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. Same with Spire of the Watcher. Spire of the Watcher in lore literally sets up the idea of Neomuna, and quite literally at the end of or during Spire of the Watcher, Osiris like, oh look, see, turns out like my visions about there being a city or something. There's something here in the Spire that's telling me that I'm right. So while not a direct tie into Season of the Seraph, still pretty important, and technically it is a direct tie-in because it's a fucking Seraph tower. But I'm getting ahead of myself, or I'm getting ranty. So that's the issue, right? So now if we factor in the new costs, instead of 80 for the entire year, it's $100, and $100 is the exact same as a digital deluxe. So if you're thinking, okay, well then what's the issue? If the game is monetized more, but if I still decide to spend and buy things piecemeal and see if I like the content before I buy it, then it's about the same as a digital deluxe edition. The reason why, again, this game is all about FOMO and fear of missing out is that digital deluxe edition clearly has exclusive. That's why it's a deluxe edition. And if you look at Lightfall, click on the wrong one. You look at Lightfall, you get the Quicksilver exotic, the exotic auto rifle, and the ornament, plus 4 seasons, plus the dungeon key, and then the exotic gear just means any exotics are released during the season, right? So, and then the Sparrow and all this other shit. There's like random, like again, this might be some ghost shells or something. But the point being, if we were to do like a 1-to-1 comparison before the price change, then yeah, it would equal the same. However, you would miss out on stuff. And for instance, some people like to collect stuff. Like some people like to have everything. A lot of people that play this game like to have a lot of stuff, like to buy ornaments. That's what the Eververse store does so well. So for them, looking at this decision, like the change in price, like, oh yeah, I'm more compelled to buy this now, because if I don't buy this, I'm missing out on this stuff. And now if I don't buy this, like now we're going to get into the price change. If I don't buy the deluxe edition now, it's going to cost more than buying, it's going to cost me more to buy everything separate than it is to just buy it all together. So, again, if we're doing the new math right, instead of every season being $12, we're going to do a $15, because again, you can't just buy a season out for $12. So, again, 50 for Lightfall, right? Plus 45 because there's 3 other seasons left. Or sorry, plus 15, $45, right? So right now you're at $95. 5 less than the deluxe edition. However, you don't factor in the dungeon keys, which is another $20, so now you're at $115. So now you're $15 over the deluxe edition, and you don't have anything to show for it. You don't have any special thing to show for it. So again, from a purely like economical standpoint, it's better just to buy the deluxe edition. Which again, for people like me, you know, not money is an issue, but it's the idea that I'm buying something I don't know about, and usually I like to wait on stuff before I buy it. But again, with this change, it's very you're literally if you're pure money based, like pure like min max, like how much money I'm getting bang for your buck, it is way smart just to buy into the deluxe edition, and that kind of blows, right? That kind of sucks. And then obviously the complaint I can already see coming is, if they're increasing the price, what about the quality, right? Because all the seasons are the same. They did say that they're going to change some stuff up during next season and the other seasons coming after that. So we'll see if the price increase justifies it, I guess. It's like when Sony increased the PlayStation Plus membership by $10. But what makes me worried the most, and again, this isn't really the price thing, is that they mentioned in the TWAB, like on this little section about post Final Shape content also having the same model, and that they're going to adjust the price there, which makes me worried, because if you don't know, Lightfall's biggest issue was the story, and how we're going to have to use these next couple of seasons to figure out what the fuck happened during the story, and what anything happened, like what the veil is and all this other stuff. They mentioned in Season of the Deep there's going to be a mission that's for all Lightfall players. It's going to help explain what the veil is. And again, that doesn't sound bad on paper, but you have to realize Lightfall is the penultimate expansion to Destiny 2. This is literally like the 11th hour, and they're introducing, like, if this was at the very beginning of this saga, sure, fine, whatever. I guess, like, you're supposed to invite entry, but we're winding down. This is the 11th hour. Again, the main complaint about Lightfall is that things should have started wrapping up instead of just more questions, right? So, the part that, again, I'm worried about is Final Shape going to be another Lightfall situation where you have a story, but then the details, or like the real ending, or what the fuck happened, like the minutia of the explanation, is going to be chopped up and sold off into other seasons, right? Because again, I'm not saying this confirms it, but the wording of what they said with the justification for the price increases makes it seem to me that Final Shape is going to have seasons after it, which again makes me worried because if the seasons, it'd be one thing the seasons are somewhat divorced from the main story. Like, let's say, of course, they're not gonna Final Shape's not gonna like end off in a nice little bow, right? They need to leave some things open so they can keep expanding the Destiny universe and have people intrigued, right? They're not gonna wrap up everything. They said they want Destiny to keep going for a while, right? So I understand that, but in terms of like when you compare it to Lightfall, the whole entire thing with Veil and the Witness, very crucial to the story. Nothing was explained at all, and now it's going to take these seasons to explain it to us, right? A mission that's going to come out 3 months later after the story has been finished to explain what the fuck happened. And I'm afraid that might be mimicked in Final Shape, given that it's going to have seasons. Again, I at this point, Bungie is a complete wild card in terms of like their storytelling and quality of their content. Usually, it seems like when there's a light underneath their ass that they do a good job. Like when it's like do or die, they make things like Forsaken and Witch Queen. But again, they immediately just go back to like Beyond Light, Shadowkeep, Lightfall stuff. So I don't know. Again, if we're going off of Bungie's track record, Final Shape might just be the best thing ever. Because again, this is people are very Lightfall is not. A lot of people don't like Lightfall. This is completely different. Like the whole entire money thing's over. This is a little tangent. Uh, the thing with Lightfall is that it's basically a Beyond Light 2, where if there wasn't a new subclass involved, I'm pretty sure a majority of people just would not care, especially once they heard about the reviews. Like if you're wavering on buying this or whatever, and you heard about the story and there wasn't like a new cool subclass to come with it, I'm pretty sure a majority of people just skipped out on Lightfall. At least in terms of if you care for the story. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, I'm pretty sure most people aren't going to be happy with this change, but at the same time, I think most people bought the deluxe edition. I'm not too sure, but most people again that are like me that play this game consistently usually just buy out the digital deluxe out the gate. But it is what it is. Again, want to be very clear. This isn't like a financial shame. Like, oh, you should never buy into the deluxe edition. Again, it's my personal practice not to usually just buy into stuff and wait and see. Usually, again, there's exceptions. Again, there's certain games I bought that I should have waited on, but it is what it is. But the point is, I'm not trying to shame anyone to like. Obviously, it's your money. Spend it however the hell you want. You want to buy all the Eververse items, that's fine. I'm not gonna judge that. I'm just saying, for Bungie's case, that price increase, they clearly had. There's. I don't want to say like greed and all that other stuff, but it clearly was intentional with that it being $12, right? It just that because everything's in multiple of 5. I don't know. If they said if every season's gonna be $15, would I have been less pissed? Probably not, I guess, but still. That's pretty much it. I've been rambling on for long enough. Thanks for watching.